windows of Frankfurt. The medieval spires and colorful geometric brickwork looked just the same, but every towering, spreading linden tree that had graced the main thoroughfare, each a landmark in its own right, had been ripped from its roots, replaced by steel poles slung with 20-foot scarlet banners sporting black swastikas on white circles. Ebony spiders soaked in shame. "There's no need to fret. It won't be long now. The examination will soon be over. You missed the last one, so you mustn't object if this one takes a bit longer." Her father, his hair thinning by the minute, smiled absently, moistened and flattened his lips. "Our train leaves at 7, he muttered, staring out the window. "We will not be detained." She forced her fingers to lie still in her lap. His affected reassurance gave little comfort. Why she'd agreed to the hated biennial physical examination by doctors she detested, or to coming to Germany at all, she couldn't fathom. Well, yes, she could. Rachel sighed audibly and glanced at the too thin, self-absorbed man beside her. It was because he'd insisted, because they'd argued as never before, because he'd begged, then badgered, and finally ordered. Because, being adopted, she'd known no other father, and because her mother had loved him, at least the way he used to be, the way he was when she was alive. And significantly, because Rachel's new employer had agreed to delay her date of hire until September 20th. She leaned back into the comfort of the cool leather seat, forcing herself to breathe. She supposed she could afford him this parting gift of time, this assertion of her belief in him, though she'd come to question, if not doubt, his life's work. That work had taken a twisted turn from his quest to eradicate tuberculosis, her mother's killer. The publicity against his beloved eugenics research was growing, getting ugly, thanks to the outcries of investigative journalist, crusader types at home and abroad. She would be glad to distance herself when the ordeal was done. Perhaps this peace offering would soften her announcement that she'd been hired by the Campbell Playhouse as a gopher and underling to start. But if she proved herself indispensable, they might include her in their November move to Los Angeles, one step closer to radio theater performance, all of which would send her father into a tizzy. He disdained radio theater more than he detested her modern theater productions in college, blaming the influence of her professors and theatrical peers for her independent thinking. She'd tell him the moment they returned to New York. As far as Rachel was concerned, that could not be soon enough. But there were the medical examination in Frankfurt and the gala in Berlin to endure first. The gala to honor her father and German scientists for their breakthrough work in eugenics. The gala, which would include Gerhardt and her childhood friend, Kristine. She brushed the air as if a fly had landed on her cheek. What had Kristine meant in her letter about Gerhardt and things impossible to write? That she was terrified for her daughter Amelie. It was the first letter Rachel had received from her former friend in 5 years. She placed one ankle deliberately over the other. Perhaps Kristine's grown tired of playing the sweet German Hausfrau. It would serve her right for betraying me. Rachel bit her lip. That sounded harsh, even to her. The black Mercedes skirted the banks of the free-flowing Main and glided at last into the paved drive of the sprawling Institute for Hereditary Biology and Racial Hygiene. The driver, black-booted, square-jawed, the picture of German efficiency in the uniform of the SS, opened her door. Rachel drew a deep breath. Taking his hand, she stepped onto the walk. Leah Hartmann gripped her husband's hand as she waited her turn in the long, sterile corridor. What a gift that Friedrich had been granted